So the one common thing I can see about most people that join AMI is that they have machines or programs that are either non-existent anymore, they still have the machines, they're underperforming, or they're not performing at all.
Holy crap, this is what's wrong with our profession. These guys go out there, they buy these flashy things, spend all this money on it, lots of money on it, and then they think they're going to make $1 bazillion from it. This is the one thing I need to make all my money. They bill it to an insurance company, they might make some money, but then it gets collected back in an audit.
Yeah,
and so these guys get pummeled and they spend money on so many things.
So I'm not a chiropractor, so I don't know. I don't have the viewpoint of like coming out of school with what was taught and stuff like that. I can just tell you what I've kind of seen. And as a new client comes on into our delivery lines, they have a lot of stuff.
Gadgets.
They got gadgets and they've got stuff and things like that. But the one thing which I can pretty consistently say that 95% of them have is a loss on stuff that they bought that faded away and didn't work. And so I'm not saying didn't work, wasn't effective on patients, that wasn't it at all, but it was like a promise. It was usually what happens is that what I see is that a person graduates from school and they start their practice, like you said, and they get going, and then it's like, well, I thought it was gonna make more money than this or something else, and you're right. And then somebody comes along, a salesman comes along and says, hey, this machine, we'll give you the marketing for the machine, you're gonna buy the machine, we're gonna give you the paperwork for the machine, and you're gonna process your patients.
You need to buy a Faraday cage.
You're gonna buy...
And it's only $25,000.
I don't even know what a Faraday cage is.
Faraday's right-hand rule. It's
tangent. Okay, anyway. So anyway, and they get the machine, and what they do is they change their paperwork out, or they advertise for the thing. They start bringing in, and I'm going to just drop, maybe things like a Synexus machine. I didn't quite say that. Maybe it's another machine than that, but you actually advertise for that thing. Come in and get this thing, and then the people that come in want that thing, and your paperwork is for that thing, and then the patient processes through, and you sell a lot of that stuff, right? And then what happens is the ads start dying off, and then the new patients start dying off, and you've never figured out how to actually sell that thing, because all you did was use the system that the ads would drive people in, and it would fade, and then the machine would kind of get pushed to the back and somewhat get forgotten about. And then maybe a year or two later, you're at another event or somewhere, or your friend said, I bought this machine, and with this machine, you can make all this money, and you get a system that goes along with it. Like I know there's another one where I think it was a decompression system, and you have to use oxygen with it and decompression with it, and you have to sell everybody a back brace with it, and it was whoever was selling it was going to give you the marketing for it and the paperwork for it, and then the doctor put that paperwork in and did that until that thing kind of faded a bit, and then they pushed the machine off to the side, and they don't use it very often. So the one common thing I can see about most people that join AMI is that they have machines or programs that are either non-existent anymore, they still have the machines, they're underperforming, or they're not performing at all. And for us, phase one of AMI's program is that we actually have them pull out those machines. We rehabilitate those machines, meaning like they all have a loss on it. It worked and now it doesn't work. It worked, now it doesn't work. Nobody says it doesn't work for patients. The marketing that the company told them to do worked for a while, and people came in asking for the thing, and then the marketing didn't work, and nobody came in and asked for it anymore, and they never figured out how to actually use the machine clinically to integrate it into what they were doing. What we've noticed is that people have stuff, and I would say a good percentage of patients or clients that join AMI, the first thing we do is we say, we're going to help you put a system into your office. We're going to dust off the stuff, meaning all that stuff you did buy in the past, we want you to continue to use that to help your patients and, of course, make money with it. And that's the first thing we do at AMI, which most clients are like, oh my gosh, I'm so happy that we're doing this, because they've had so many losses on machines and programs they bought that literally went in the waste bucket or they just don't use anymore. And now here comes AMI saying, well, gosh, most of them, the machines were probably pretty good. There's nothing wrong with the machines. It's the system that the machines got put into that was completely unworkable.